Everybody likes to talk about the technical analysis, the price charts, the fundamental analysis, but none of that means anything if you cannot master these two emotions when it comes to trading. So I'm going to talk to you about the two most important emotions to master. Now, these emotions are called fear and greed. Now, in the stock market, you can't be too fearful and you can't be too greedy. And we're going to explain how to master both. So if you're too fearful, you'll be afraid to get into a play. You will not want to enter the play. You're just timid about entering option trades, right? And then if you're too greedy, you are just overconfident, if that makes sense. So don't be too overconfident and don't be too scared to enter. You have to be right in the middle. And trading is about balance, but you have to understand it's not human nature for us to be balanced. We're either scared or we're either too greedy, right? And that's most people's problems. People have that problem with gambling. People have that problem with just leaving their money in the bank and being afraid to invest it. And a lot of people do not want to further their education. Even Warren Buffett said, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. So the whole name of the game is to buy during recessions and to sell during extreme greed. And we're going to talk about some indicators you can use to tackle these emotions, because once I mastered these two emotions, it definitely helped me make 7 figures, because you have to be balanced. You got to know when to get out and you have to know how to stay in. So we're going to look at some technical indicators. We're going to look at some fundamental indicators to help you tackle fear and greed. And before we do, all I ask you guys is to leave me a like in the comment just to help my algorithm. That's all I ask, folks. So let's get started. So if you head to Google and you type in fear and greed index, you can come here to the CNN and you're going to see either greed and you're going to see the scale. Now, the best thing to do is to buy during extreme fear and to sell during extreme greed, correct? Now, how do you do this? Let's talk about it. Let's go to SPY. This is the market index to definitely pay attention to for this particular indicator. So I'm going to walk you through times where I have bought and sold during extreme fear and greed. So right here, here's a good technical, and then you have to look at what is called confluences. So we have 1, 2, 3 touches of support, which is a buy indicator. All right, so watch all the gems I'm giving you. Then you have chart patterns, things like that. But this was the market high. This was greed, and I sold during extreme greed a minute ago. So I made about 193K, something like that. And you see me keep posting gains of SPY puts that I signal inside of my chat. So we scroll up. This was around, I believe, in April, and we made some bank where I just kept selling SPY puts. But yeah, we were buying on extreme fear and greed. Right here, I was talking about this bear flag right here. And you guys see that I made 130K from posting my SPY puts. So right here, 136K SPY puts that I called in the chat. And yep, that's how we do it. And I even said I added to the SPY puts too. So that's the thing. Not only did I call it, but I added. Yep, here it goes right here. 193K from SPY puts. And I bought them when? So let's check. 11, 12, 24. And then that last one is where I said I added, where the 136K was. So right here, I added 12. So December. So I got in about right here, SPY puts. Now, people wouldn't want to hold this long. I'm getting in November, all the way right here, and I held it all the way to when? April. And that's how I made bank. And not only did I hold it, but I was already banking right here, up 100K, made another 93K on this drop because of this bear flag. So I got the indicator to buy this put position, which is sell, based on what? Extreme greed. We have been running since what? 2022, October 2022, a 2-year bull run. And one thing you must know, that the market is like gravity. What goes up must come down. And it doesn't mean that it's going to continue to come down. Well, let me give you guys pretty much the game. A good trend breathes in, breathes out, breathes in, breathes out, breathes in, breathes out. So think about it. If you're running, you cannot run forever off of a breathe in. You can't just, you just gotta breathe out in order to stay healthy with running. So if you want a good run on a trend, we need to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So you always gotta understand that the market peaks, then it dips, It peaks, then it dips. There has to be a pullback. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no such thing as any stock we can scroll down and see that will not have some sort of pullback. So now that you know this, and now that you know that the stock market is like gravity, this is the ETF that you need to keep your eye on, SPY. So I bought puts off of Extreme Greed here. And I was selling out of my leaps and things like that. And then I bought positions like HIMS, where I started to call things like, I even said this right here, 415. I said I'm buying HIMS, Twilolo, Hood, Kava, and XYZ. All of these went up 415. So let's go look, because I realized that we were banking on extreme fear. So if you look here, the market had dropped. 415 was about right here. The market pulled back one more time. And I told people I'm buying all of those. So let's go look at HIMS around April, right here. 415, bought HIMS off of what? This third touch of support, and the fact that fear, people are scared, is down. I bought XYZ. Fear. In this one, people were still scared, but we bought in April around right here. Then it went lower and people were scared and it still went right. So I bought in this area, and we can go look at HIMS, Twilolo, which was a great one too. I made a lot of money off that. Pretty sure it's this dip. Yep, around this time, bought, and I even sold up here, as you guys can see, and it's bouncing off this 61.8. Let's look at the weekly chart. That's probably a pin bar, the 61.8, almost. But it held, and it could go from here, to be honest, these weekly pin bars. But you guys see what I'm talking about. You have to master these emotions. So conclusion, think of the story Goldilocks and the Three Little Bears, right? Where she had porridge that was too hot, she had porridge that was too cold, but she wanted that porridge that was just right. So you have to understand timing, you have to be patient, and you have to master fear and greed. So I understand when the market is a little bit too greedy, and I understand when the market is a little bit too fearful, and you yourself have to understand that. And mastering this has made me a lot of money through my trading career, and I'm showing you proof after proof after proof. So you guys see, I keep posting HIMS and Twilolo, right? When I bought the dip, we're up 74%. Then I bought the shares as well. See that? Look how much money I'm making off this. And look, I bought both of them, signaled it to my chat. So I'll post a link in the description if you guys want to join my Discord where I call these plays. But you guys going to see that I keep talking about HIMS, Lyft, all this stuff, TTD. We end up banking on that as well. But yeah, folks, straight up printed on HIMS, Twilolo. I think I made like 74,000. As you can see, my Leap account just keep growing. Even Hood, you get what I'm saying? We bought that too. I forgot to show you that. Over 320K off Hood. Look at that. 190K off Hood. 133K off Hood. See what I'm saying? Because I understand when to buy and when to sell. And I recommend you guys learn everything that you can about this. See that? I ended up making 215K, and I told people to get in Hood so many times. And I even said in March, I said, if you're not in Hood, please make sure you buy long term. Personally, I think this stock will 10x before 5 or 10 years. Even at the price of 45, it's still cheap. Drop lower, add more. I told people you can still buy at 45. And you got to think I've been in it since the 20s and 30s. See what I'm saying? Look at this, 22 call. I've been in since it was $22, and I hold and I hold and I hold, and I made a lot of money off that. So you guys see, proof is in the pudding. No one does it bigger or better than Honey Drip. Make sure you guys tap in. You're going to see plenty of examples of me helping people win. You're going to see profits after profits. I can show you, look, right here. See that? 64K in a month, 20K in a month, 17K in 3 months. 33K. So if that's you and you want to get some money with us, tap in. I'll post a link in the description. 129K year to date. See what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff that I help people get, the returns I help people get based off my plays. So you guys get the picture. Stay in this mode of balance and you guys will profit for a long time in this game. God bless you guys. It's your boy Aristotle, and I'm out.